9A, we're going to do a hypothesis test for the difference between two proportions. Okay, so like in our Mythbusters, we wanted to know whether or not P1 was greater than P2. We're going to learn how to do those tests in Desmos. All right, so very similar steps to what we were doing in Unit 8, just this time we have two proportions. So our null and alternative hypotheses, our null is always going to be P1 is equal to P2. We're going to assume that there's no difference between the two proportions. And then our alternative hypothesis is going to be based on the claim. We need to know what our alpha is, find the p-value using Desmos, and then just like we've been doing, we're going to compare our p-value with alpha to come up with a conclusion. Okay, so here are our steps in Desmos. Okay, it's still in that plus sign inference. We're going to pick z-test for proportion, and then we're going to add a second sample. For your null hypothesis, it's always going to be that P1 minus P2 equals 0. We're assuming there's no difference between these two. And then we're still changing tails to match our alternative hypothesis. So let's go through an example. All right, I'll let you read through that, and we need Desmos. Okay, so our null hypothesis is going to be that P1 is equal to P2. Right, the proportion of people who wear seatbelts in cars is the same as the proportion that we're in trucks. And then our claim here is that the proportion is not the same. So that means my alternative hypothesis is going to be not equal to. So P1 is not equal to P2. Okay, so let's go to Desmos. All right, plus sign, inference, slide this over. We want z-test for proportions. Okay, and then just like before, we're putting in our successes and our sample size. Okay, and they gave us percentages, so we need to multiply that to get my our number of successes. So for cars, it was 86% of 150, so that's going to be 129 people out of 150. Then we're going to hit this plus sign for sample 2 to add our second sample. So for trucks, it was 74% of 200, so that's going to be 148 people. So 148 out of 200. Create the test. Okay, just like before, click that arrow for significance test. Our null hypothesis is that P1 minus P2 equals 0. Our alternative is not equal to, so that means our tails should be both. So our p-value is 0.006. Okay. Alpha is 0.10, so that means that my p-value is less than alpha, right? Same sentence that we've been using. So we're going to reject the null hypothesis because the p-value is less than alpha, so that means there is enough evidence to support the claim that the proportion of people who wear seatbelts is not the same for cars and trucks. Okay, if you take that claim sentence from the question, you'll never mess it up. Right, and that's it for 9A.